Good Thursday morning. What we're looking at right here is a book plate uh, that was originally designed to go into a very limited edition. I think there was only 43 edition of the Chicken Kabbalah in hardbound edition. And I don't know if you can see this embossed. This is a very beat up old versions because it's many, many, many years old of the Chicken Kabbalah. And it was like bound in like chicken skin there. But this book plate and that embossed drawing was commissioned by the publisher, by Mr. Barry Hale, the great, wonderful, magical artist, Barry Hale. And that embossed thing on the front is this wonderful satyr kind of character right there. And I'm actually going to be reading from that. Most Chicken Kabbalahs are paperback or Kindle or audio book. And if you happen to have one of these, you probably bought it at Atlantis Bookshop, the Atlantis Bookshop in London. And if you have one, hang on to it, okay? I'm going to talk a little. I posted a drawing, a sketch that I made. I don't know if it ever got published. Sort of my office. You can sort of see the bookcase in the background. But there's a triangle on the floor, and it says ooga booga around it. And there's this magic lamp in the triangle. It's an evocation triangle. And there's smoke coming out of the lamp. And it's my face. And the caption reads, not something like, it's not who you expected, right? The point being that in an evocation, no matter who you think you're whipping up, or no matter who it is that you're conjuring, ultimately you're conjuring an aspect of yourself. And otherwise you would have no business conjuring it and have no possibility of controlling it and redirecting it. And that got me thinking. And I wanted to share a little bit of the chapter here in the Chicken Kabbalah on, well, it starts off Kabbalistic magic and the tree of life. And I'm going to just plop in right in the middle of the thing. I've discussed basically the formation of the tree of life as a roadmap of ascending levels or frequencies of consciousness. We've gone over that a million times. But I'd like to specifically go to the subject of evocation from a Kabbalistic point of view. So allow me. Kabbalists further dissect the universe of consciousness by organizing everything into 4 categories, 4 trees of life, each tree corresponding to one of the 4 letters of the great divine name Yod-He-Vav-He, and also the 4 Kabbalistic worlds and the 4 parts of the soul, 4 parts of the human soul. And let's see if I can There we go. We've got the four trees of life there, Yod He Vav He, and Kabbalistic worlds are from top to bottom. Atzilith, the archetypal world, the world of divine names, ruling names, the will of deity. Then Tree of Life for Braya, the creative world, the world of archangels, the heart of the deity. See, so Atzilith corresponds to those divine names. Those divine names are God itself and the different aspects, 10 different aspects of this supreme singularity itself. Then under that is Braya, the archangelic world, and below that is Yetzirah, the formative world, the world of the angel hosts. It's the mind's eye of deity. And finally, Asiya, the material world, the world of people and spirits and demons, and it's the playground of the deity. Now, each of those Kabbalistic worlds has its counterpart in the human soul. The Chai, the life force, it's our true identity, which we absolutely share with deity. The Neshama, the soul intuition, the Ruach, our intellect, and the Nephesh, our animal soul. Just to get that out of the way. Remember, these are levels of consciousness, not places or heavens located somewhere out in space. If you're waiting to die so you can go to one of these higher planes, you might be very disappointed. Death might not be what you think it is, and there is no reason to believe that you'll be any smarter than you were when you were alive. So make an effort to attain illumination while you still have a 4-part soul. This divine pecking order is the corporate flow chart of the universe and of you and me. The 10 segments of deity in Atzilith rule the 10 archangels in Braya, who rule the 10 groups of angels in Yetzirah, who rule the various spirits down here in the material plane of Asiya. It's easy to see who rules whom if we imagine the 4 trees placed one over the other as shown in figure 8. Okay. Excuse me, 28. And I showed this in a diagram the other day too. So just got the 4 trees of life there, Atzilith, Braya, Yetzirah, and Asiya, sort of laying on their sides and getting ready to smash down like some double-barreled Oreo cookie. Spirits are the agents who actually do all the heavy lifting on the material plane. You may think you disagree with me on this. You could point out that natural forces, people and machines, seem to be the instruments that push things around down here. But in truth, it is a spiritual hierarchy that is the executor of everything that gets done in the phenomenal universe. For example, the rabbi is speaking. I am standing here at the podium at the head of the classroom. I am thirsty, and I would like a drink of water. The kindly student, I'd like a drink of water, and I ask a student if he would be kind enough to bring me a glass of water. The kindly student gets up, goes to the water cooler in the back of the classroom, draws me a glass of water, and delivers it to me. This simple scenario doesn't seem very magical, does it? However, from my point of view, it was a miraculously successful conjuration. By strength of my will, and with only a few well-chosen magic words of enchantment, I set into motion an entire hierarchy of spiritual beings. I, Rabbi Lamed Ben Clifford, the deity, had a need which I defined and named as thirst. That's the divine name of the desire formulated by the deity. Thirst. The divine name in Atzilith. Activating my unambiguous spiritual authority as your teacher, I declare the divine name. Vibrations of sound declaring my thirst. And inspire an archangel, student in Braya, to fulfill my desire. The archangel then activates an army of angels within himself in Yetzirah, angels of the eye to seek out and locate the water cooler, angels of nerves and muscles, and equilibrium to propel him through space and around obstacles until he reaches his goal. At the water cooler, the angel then employs the intelligences, spirits of gravity and hydrodynamics to fill the glass with water in Asaya. The process is then reversed until the archangel delivers the water to me, thereby fulfilling the will of the deity. This may not be what you think of when you think of magic, but I assure you, it is magic. In fact, most of the spiritual activity that took place in the above scenario actually occurred on the invisible plane. No one could see my words of enchantment. No one could see the internal processes that inspired and propelled the student to the water cooler, or the invisible force of gravity. For all intents and purposes, I wanted a drink of water, and only seconds after focusing my will on that desire, a glass of water traveled through space and appeared in my hands. Since spirits do all the dirty work of creation, Kabbalistic magicians theorize that it's only logical that they should be compelled to work for us. After all, these guys are easily bamboozled. They go where they're pointed and do what they're told. They're accustomed to following orders from higher intelligences. However, in magic, it's not what you know, but who you are that counts. And before you can proceed to bamboozle a spirit into believing you are in higher intelligence, you must first bamboozle yourself into believing you are in higher intelligence. If I want to enchant Tina, the girl next door, to fall in love with me, it doesn't matter that I know that Jehovah Tsabaoth is the aspect of deity served by Hanael, who governs Anael of the Elohim, who commands Hagael, by whom Kedemel is compelled. I must first perfectly realize that somewhere in my own complex spiritual composition is a perfect working model of Jehovah Tsabaoth, Hanael, Elohim, Anael, of the Elohim, Hagael, and Kedemel. I must be able to actually identify with the top guy in my own organization, and from a position of authority, beseech the archangel to help me conjure the angel that I may order the intelligence in his name so that the spirit will listen to me when I command it to do my bidding. Beseech the archangel, conjure the angel, order the intelligence, command the spirit. Now, does this mean that you'll have to study and master all these tongue-twisting God names, archangels, and angels that, let's face it, mean nothing to you? Does this mean that you'll then have to labor to somehow integrate this mountain of memorized data into your subjective subconscious? Hell no, you're a chicken Kabbalist. Don't worry about it. The essence of this wonderful organization is already integrated into your spiritual matrix. It and the infinite number of other ways of looking at creation came as standard equipment when you were born as a human being. You can, of course, memorize all the goodies if you want to, and I'm sure there'll be some of you who will want to. But I want you to know that it is not essential to do so. It's only necessary that you program your spiritual worldview with this image of an ordered hierarchy of consciousness. Eventually, your recognition of these Kabbalistic facts of life will enable you to effortlessly and naturally align and harmonize the various aspects of your consciousness with these Kabbalistic facts of life. Once this is achieved, and it most likely will happen without you realizing that it has happened, you'll discover your place in the divine hierarchy and why only you can fill that position. I've prepared a flow chart, Table 3, that shows the classic Kabbalistic hierarchy of divine name, archangel, angel, the angelic choir to which it belongs, and the intelligence and spirit attributed to each sephira on the tree of life. You can then use this information to construct complex rituals of formal evocation, such as those found in any number of magical texts. Now I'm going to show you that chart. And I must say, I'm very proud of this chart. There's the sephira on the side, and when we get down to 10, okay, it goes down to the elements and the spirits of fire, water, air, and earth. It's a chart you'll want handy if you do stuff like this. Using this, you can design simple house and garden variety spells, such as this ditty I wrote and recited at the appearance of Venus in the evening or the early morning sky. O Lord of hosts, Jehovah Tsabaoth, you know the dream of fools. Thee I invoke to hear my oath in Noga, where Venus rules. O Hanael, great archangel, glory of God thou art. Send Anael, love's bold angel, to touch sweet Tina's heart. Come, Hagael, in Anael's name obey. Compel Kedemel to do my will. Tina, love me night and day. And that's, of course, to get the rabbi's girl next door to love him. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. Tomorrow will be Thursday. No, tomorrow will be Friday. And we are under a severe heat warning here in Sacramento. It's predicted to be 113 this weekend. And as I've mentioned before, we're always a few degrees hotter in our little corner of Sacramento here. So think cooling thoughts for the DuQuettes. And I don't want to complain too much because I know it's terribly hot and dry and weird everywhere. But anyway, perhaps a cooling angel might blow their cool breath down your neck this weekend. Anyway, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.